What sets truly smart men apart from the rest? Is it just intelligence, or is it something deeper, an approach to life that makes all the difference? Throughout history, some of the most respected men have followed a set of timeless principles that go beyond intellect. They have embraced a way of thinking rooted in Stoic philosophy that shapes how they navigate challenges, relationships, and even their own emotions. Today, I'm going to share with you the 10 essential rules that only smart men follow to lead successful, meaningful lives. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Smart men know this truth. They focus on mastering themselves, rather than being controlled by what happens around them. And that is just one of the key insights that we'll dive into today, drawn from the wisdom of Stoicism. In this video, you'll discover 10 rules that guide truly smart men to not only succeed, but thrive. From mastering solitude and protecting your past, to nurturing meaningful relationships and setting strong boundaries, these rules will reshape how you think and act. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap on how to live a life that reflects inner strength, confidence, and true fulfillment. So, are you ready to learn what truly sets the smartest men apart from the rest? Let's get started. Rule 1. Embrace solitude. In a world that is constantly buzzing with noise and distractions, how often do you truly step away from it all? Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Smart men know that solitude isn't about loneliness. It's about creating the space to truly listen to yourself. It's where the most profound insights are born and where you find the clarity that no amount of outside noise can give you. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "Within is the fountain of good." It's a simple yet powerful reminder that the answers we seek, the strength we long for, and the peace we crave already exist within us. But to tap into that inner well, we need to embrace solitude, to step away from the constant demands of life and just be. Consider this. Some of the most successful and wise men throughout history, from Marcus Aurelius to modern leaders like Bill Gates, have made solitude a crucial part of their lives. They take time to retreat, to reflect, and to realign with their purpose. It's during these moments of solitude that they find direction and renew their inner strength. This is not by accident. It is a practice, one that allows them to navigate life with wisdom and clarity. So how do you begin to embrace solitude in a world that never seems to stop? The good news is, you don't need to go on a week-long retreat or live in isolation to experience the benefits of solitude. Start small. Here are a few practical steps you can take. Journaling. Take 10, 15 minutes each day to write down your thoughts. Don't filter or judge. Just let your mind flow onto the page. This simple act can reveal insights you never knew you had. Meditation. Set aside time for quiet meditation. Even just 5-10 minutes of focusing on your breath can help you reconnect with yourself and quiet the mental noise. Quiet reflection. Spend time alone in nature, or simply turn off all distractions and sit in silence. Allow your thoughts to settle and notice the peace that rises when you're not bombarded by external input. These moments may seem small, but they can have a profound impact on your mental clarity and emotional well-being. By making solitude a regular practice, you are essentially giving yourself permission to grow and discover parts of yourself you've never explored. Now, I want to ask you something. When was the last time you truly took time for yourself, without distractions, without the constant noise of the world, just to be with your own thoughts? Think about that for a moment. Maybe it's been a while, or maybe it's something you've never intentionally done before. But here's the beauty of it. Solitude is always there for you. waiting for you to return. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and share your experiences with solitude, whether it's something you practice or something you want to try. Your journey matters, and sometimes just hearing how others approach their solitude can spark something inside us. Let's keep this conversation going, because when you begin to embrace solitude, you begin to embrace the most powerful version of yourself. Rule 2. Protect your past. Your past is a part of who you are, but it doesn't have to define who you become. Many of us carry stories, experiences, and scars from our past, and it can be tempting to share them openly, thinking that it will bring us closer to others or offer us relief. But there's wisdom in the Stoic approach of guarding your past, of protecting those personal experiences from unnecessary exposure. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. This is a powerful reminder that not everyone who listens to your story will truly understand it. And worse, not everyone will hold it with the care and respect it deserves. When we overshare, we risk giving away pieces of ourselves to people who may not honor them. And in doing so, we diminish the power of our own growth. Learning from the past is essential, but it's equally important to ensure that the past remains in its rightful place. It should guide us, teach us, but never bind us to a version of ourselves that no longer serves us. Think about it. How often do we let our past mistakes or painful memories dictate how we move through the world today? What if, instead, we chose to protect those experiences and use them as quiet sources of wisdom, rather than burdens to carry openly? So how do you protect your past? Here are some practical ways to guard your experiences while allowing them to fuel your growth. Avoid oversharing. Before you open up about a personal story, ask yourself if it's truly necessary. Will it add value to the conversation, or is it an attempt to seek validation or sympathy? Be selective about whom you trust with your deepest experiences. Stoic journaling. One of the most powerful tools of the Stoic practice is journaling. Write down your thoughts and emotions privately. This allows you to process what you've been through, learn from it, and move forward without the need to publicly expose those vulnerabilities. Shift the focus. Use your past as a guide, not an anchor. Reflect on what you've learned and how it has shaped the person you are today. But don't let it define every decision you make in the present. Your past is sacred. It's the foundation of your strength, but it doesn't need to be worn on your sleeve for everyone to see. There is immense power in holding your story close and allowing only those who truly earn your trust to know it. Now let me ask you, do you find yourself sharing too much from your past? How might protecting your past and keeping certain parts of your story private help you grow? Take a moment to reflect on this. Sometimes the most important conversations we have are the ones we hold quietly within ourselves. Protecting your past allows you to maintain control over your narrative, to grow from it without being trapped by it. I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments. Have you found strength in keeping certain parts of your past private? Or are you ready to start protecting your story today? Let's learn together how safeguarding our experiences can empower us to move forward with greater wisdom and resilience. Rule 3. Balance your priorities. In a world where distractions are constant and expectations are high, it's easy to get swept up in the noise, chasing after things that ultimately don't serve our true selves. But as Seneca wisely said, we waste a lot of time. Time, our most valuable resource, slips through our fingers if we don't take conscious control of it. And that's what smart men understand, how to align their goals with their values, not just with external pursuits. It's tempting to be driven by society's markers of success, status, wealth, recognition. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what really matters to me? What do I truly want to stand for? The smartest among us know that success isn't defined by how others see us, but by how closely our actions align with our deepest values. The more you align your personal goals with those values, the more fulfilled and purposeful your life becomes. When your goals are guided by your core beliefs, you no longer feel lost in the whirlwind of other people's expectations. Instead, every action you take, every decision you make becomes a step towards the life you were meant to live. It's the difference between walking a path you've chosen for yourself and being pulled in 100 different directions, chasing things that don't truly resonate with who you are. Now, how do you ensure your time is spent wisely? The answer lies in setting clear priorities. Here are some practical ways to start. Identify what truly matters. Take a moment to reflect on your core values. What do you want to achieve that aligns with your purpose? Is it spending more time with family, focusing on your health, or advancing in a career that brings you fulfillment? Set boundaries. One of the most powerful things you can learn is the ability to say no. Not everything deserves your time or energy. Protect your priorities by learning to say no to distractions, unnecessary obligations, or anything that pulls you away from your true goals. Create a schedule. Once your priorities are clear, create a daily routine that reflects those values. Whether it's dedicating time each morning to personal growth or carving out time for loved ones, put your most important tasks first. Think of successful people like Steve Jobs, who famously cut down Apple's product line to focus on only a few items that truly mattered. His ability to streamline and focus on clear priorities not only transformed his career, but also revolutionized the world of technology. This is the power of aligning your actions with your values. When you focus on what truly matters, you excel. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what's one priority in your life that you've been neglecting? Is it something you've been putting off, a dream you've forgotten, or a relationship that's been overshadowed by distractions? Take a moment to reflect on this, because the truth is, it's never too late to realign your priorities. By consciously choosing what deserves your time and energy, you're not just managing time, you're reclaiming your life. You're making space for what truly matters, for the things that align with your deepest values. Rule 4. Prioritize mental health. When it comes to living a life of true fulfillment and strength, nothing is more crucial than mental health. Yet, so often, we neglect it. We push through stress, anxiety, and overwhelm, believing that if we just keep going, things will somehow get better. But Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, taught us that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. In other words, how we think and care for our minds determines the quality of our entire existence. Smart men know that prioritizing mental health is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the foundation for everything else, your work, your relationships, and your personal growth. If your mind is clouded with negativity, stress, or emotional turmoil, how can you truly be present in your life? How can you achieve the things that matter to you? It all starts within. The Stoics believed that our inner world, the quality of our thoughts, and the peace of our minds are the keys to a strong life. Prioritizing mental health means taking the time to care for yourself, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. And there's no shame in that. In fact, there's strength in acknowledging when you need to pause and reflect. What does self-care for the mind look like? For some, it's found in the quiet moments of meditation, where we learn to calm the storm inside and listen to our inner selves. Meditation doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as sitting in silence, breathing deeply, and allowing your thoughts to settle like dust after a whirlwind. For others, therapy is a powerful tool, a place where we can untangle the complicated emotions and thoughts that weigh us down. Talking through our struggles, gaining new perspectives, and allowing ourselves the space to heal is one of the bravest things we can do for ourselves. It's a step toward becoming a stronger, more grounded version of who we are. Exercise, too, plays a crucial role. It's not just about physical strength. It's about releasing the stress and tension that builds up in our minds. A simple walk, a run, or even a few minutes of stretching can shift your mood and bring clarity to your thoughts. When you move your body, you move your mind. But one of the most vital aspects of protecting your mental health is learning to set boundaries. It's about knowing when to step back from the things that drain you, whether that's people, commitments, or the endless demands of modern life. It's okay to say no. In fact, it's necessary. You cannot be everything to everyone, and you shouldn't have to be. Prioritizing your own well-being is not selfish. It's essential for your survival and growth. The strongest men are not the ones who carry the most on their shoulders. They're the ones who know when to put the weight down. They're the ones who ask for help when they need it. There's a misconception that seeking help is a sign of weakness. But the truth is, it takes immense courage to admit when we're struggling and to reach out for support. So, let me ask you, how do you prioritize your mental health? What practices have helped you stay grounded, calm, and focused in a world that constantly demands more from you? I invite you to take a moment to reflect on this and share your thoughts in the comments below. Maybe it's a morning meditation, an evening walk, or a daily journaling practice. Whatever it is, know that by taking care of your mind, you are building the foundation for a life of true strength, resilience, and peace. Remember, your mind is your most powerful tool. Protect it, nurture it, and let it guide you toward a life that is not just successful, but deeply fulfilling. Rule 5. Be true to yourself. One of the greatest lessons we can learn from Stoic philosophy, especially from Seneca, is the power of being true to ourselves. In a world that constantly pulls us in different directions, demanding that we fit in, seek approval, and conform, there is incredible strength in standing firm in who we are. Seneca reminds us that inner strength is not about how we are seen by others, but about how we live with ourselves. To be truly smart, truly wise, means knowing that external validation fades, but the integrity we hold within lasts a lifetime. Smart men don't seek their worth in the opinions of others. They don't bend and break trying to please the world. Instead, they live in alignment with their core values, understanding that real power comes from within. The world may try to sway them. People may try to convince them to go against what they believe. But men of integrity stand tall. They understand that authenticity is the foundation of a fulfilled life. Think about it. How often do we lose ourselves in the pursuit of being liked, accepted, or praised by others? We say yes when we mean no. We ignore our instincts to fit in with the crowd. But every time we do, we move further away from who we really are. We compromise our values, and in doing so, we lose the most valuable thing we have, our true selves. Being true to yourself requires courage. It means setting boundaries when people expect too much. It means saying no when the world wants you to say yes. It means embracing your flaws and your strengths, owning every part of who you are, and walking the path that's right for you, even if it's not the one everyone else is on. So, how do we stay true to ourselves in a world that's constantly trying to shape us? It starts with knowing who you are. Take time to reflect on what matters most to you. What are the values you want to live by? What are the non-negotiables in your life? Once you're clear on these, you can begin to set boundaries that protect your authenticity. Saying no is a powerful act of self-respect. It shows that you value your time, your energy, and your beliefs enough to protect them. It's not always easy. Sometimes people will push back, and you might feel guilty. But remember this: when you say no to the things that don't align with your values, you are saying yes to your true self, and that is where your strength lies. Self-acceptance is another vital part of staying true to yourself. We all have imperfections, things we wish we could change, but smart men know that these imperfections don't define them. They understand that authenticity means embracing every part of themselves, the good, the bad, and the messy. There is real power in standing tall, flaws and all, and saying, "This is who I am." Let me share a story that perfectly illustrates this. Steve Jobs, one of the most successful men in recent history, was known for staying true to his vision despite immense pressure. When he returned to Apple in 1997, the company was struggling. He had a clear vision for the future, but not everyone agreed with him. Critics and board members questioned his decisions, but Jobs didn't waver. He remained true to his values, to his passion for innovation and simplicity, and it changed the course of technology forever. His success came not from pleasing others, but from being relentlessly true to himself. Now, think about your own life. Where have you been compromising? Where have you let others dictate your choices? I want you to ask yourself this: what does being true to yourself mean to you? How can you live more authentically, starting today? I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a conversation about what it really means to stand firm in who we are. When you live in alignment with your values, something beautiful happens. You stop seeking validation from the outside world. You start finding it within. You begin to walk through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that no matter what happens around you, you are strong because you are true to yourself. Rule 6. Nurture meaningful relationships. When we think about what it means to live a successful and fulfilling life, we often focus on personal achievements, career goals, or material success. But Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, reminds us that true happiness is found not just in individual success, but in the quality of the relationships we build along the way. Both romantic and platonic relationships are central to our well-being. As men who aspire to live with wisdom and purpose, nurturing these connections is one of the most powerful investments we can make. Smart men understand that real strength doesn't come from standing alone, but from building and maintaining relationships that bring meaning and depth to their lives. Think about it. Who do you turn to in times of need? Who do you share your greatest joys with? These are the people who anchor you, who lift you up, and who walk beside you through life's highs and lows. The bond between two people, when rooted in trust and respect, has the power to weather any storm. But here's the key. Relationships don't just happen. They require effort, intention, and care. Zeno taught that we are naturally social creatures, and that the strength of our connections can shape our happiness. Yet, in today's fast-paced world, it's easy to let our relationships drift. We get caught up in work, in our own problems, and before we know it, we're disconnected from the very people who matter most. Smart men don't let this happen. They understand that meaningful relationships are a source of strength, comfort, and wisdom. They invest in them, consistently and wholeheartedly. So how do you nurture meaningful connections in a world that's constantly pulling us in 1,000 different directions? It starts with being present. It's easy to be physically there, but are you truly present with the people in your life? Are you listening to them with your full attention? without thinking about the next thing you have to do. Being present means giving someone your time, your focus, and your heart. Think about the people who matter most to you. Maybe it's a partner, a friend, a family member, or even a mentor. Ask yourself, what's one thing you can do to strengthen that relationship? Maybe it's as simple as sending a message to check in or making time for a conversation. Relationships aren't about grand gestures or constant attention. They're about being there, consistently and genuinely. They're about listening with an open heart, showing up when it matters, and appreciating the beauty of now. I want you to take a moment to reflect. What's one thing you can do today to nurture a relationship that's important to you? What's one small action you can take to show someone you care, to make them feel valued? And true success in life isn't just about what we accomplish on our own, but about the richness of the connections we build. When you nurture meaningful relationships, you're not just investing in others, you're investing in yourself. You're creating a foundation of love, support, and joy that will carry you through life's challenges and make your journey all the more fulfilling. Rule 7. Master time management. Time is the most precious resource we have, and yet it slips through our fingers faster than we realize. The Stoics, from Seneca to Marcus Aurelius, spoke often of time, how fleeting it is, how we often waste it, and how, once gone, it can never be regained. In Seneca's words, we waste a lot of time. Think about that for a moment. How much time do we spend distracted, caught up in things that don't truly matter, when we could be focusing on what brings us real growth, real fulfillment? Smart men understand that time is their most valuable asset. They don't squander it. They don't fill their days with meaningless tasks or commitments that drain their energy. Instead, they master their time by focusing on what matters most, learning how to say no when necessary, and protecting their time as if it were gold, because it is. Every moment we waste is a moment we can't get back. Yet, how often do we find ourselves overcommitted, doing things that aren't aligned with our true purpose? How often do we say yes out of obligation, fear, or simply habit? The truth is, saying no is one of the most powerful tools you can use to protect your time. By learning to say no to distractions, to commitments that don't serve you, and to activities that drain your energy, you free up space for the things that truly matter, the things that help you grow, that inspire you, and that move you closer to your goals. But it's not just about saying no. It's about knowing what to say yes to. It's about setting clear priorities and aligning your time with your values. This is where time management becomes an art. Smart men understand that managing their time means making conscious choices, choices that reflect their deepest desires and goals. So, how can we become masters of our time? It begins with setting clear priorities. Take a moment to ask yourself, what are the things that truly matter to you? What are the goals you're striving toward? Once you're clear on your priorities, everything else falls into place. One practical way to manage your time effectively is by creating time blocks. Time blocking allows you to dedicate specific chunks of your day to focused work, personal growth, or meaningful activities without interruptions. This way, you're not multitasking or jumping from one thing to another. You're giving your full attention to what's in front of you. And when you focus deeply on one task at a time, you'll find that not only do you get more done, but you do it with a greater sense of purpose and satisfaction. Another crucial aspect of mastering time is learning to avoid distractions. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded by notifications, emails, and social media, all pulling us away from what truly matters. But smart men know how to guard their attention. They turn off their notifications, set boundaries around their work time, and create environments that support focus and creativity. Every time you resist a distraction, you're choosing to protect your time, to honor your priorities. Time is a gift, but it's also a responsibility. How we use it shapes the course of our lives. If you find yourself caught in a cycle of busyness, constantly reacting to the demands of others, it's time to step back and take control. It's time to realign your time with your values. Ask yourself this: how can you better manage your time to focus on what truly matters? What can you let go of to make room for the things that bring you joy, growth, and fulfillment? When you master your time, you master your life. You create space for the things that matter most, for the relationships that nourish you, for the work that fulfills you, and for the personal growth that inspires you. Don't let time slip away. Take control of it and use it to create a life that reflects your highest values. Rule 8. Communicate authentically. Communication is the foundation of every relationship we have, whether with family, friends, partners, or even ourselves. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, once said that mastering oneself includes mastering communication. Think about that for a moment. How often do we think of our words, our tone, our body language as part of self-mastery? And yet, the way we communicate can either build bridges of trust or create walls of misunderstanding. Smart men understand that true strength lies not just in what we do, but in how we express ourselves. They know that authentic communication, honest, direct, and clear, is the key to building lasting, meaningful relationships. It's not about impressing others with grand speeches or saying what people want to hear. It's about speaking from the heart, being real, and having the courage to express what's true for you. We live in a world where so much communication is superficial, where words are thrown around carelessly, and where real understanding can often feel rare. But when you communicate authentically, when you speak with intention and listen with full presence, something powerful happens. You create connection. You build trust. You show others that you value them enough to be honest and to hear them fully. Authentic communication isn't always easy. It requires vulnerability. It requires being open about your needs, your desires, and sometimes even your fears. But this kind of honesty, while difficult, is what forges the strongest bonds. When you're able to express what's truly on your mind, without fear of judgment or rejection, you're giving the people around you the gift of your truth. And that truth is what invites them to share their own. So how do we practice authentic communication? It starts with active listening. So often we think we're listening, but we're really just waiting for our turn to speak. True listening means being fully present with the other person, absorbing not only their words but their emotions, their intentions, the deeper message they might not be saying. It's about giving them the space to be heard without interrupting or offering solutions unless they ask for them. Next comes clear expression. Smart men know that communicating authentically means being clear about what you need, what you want, and how you feel. It's about speaking with honesty, but also with kindness. Sometimes we shy away from directness because we don't want to hurt others or because we're afraid of how they might react. But real connection is built on truth, even when that truth is hard to hear. When you express yourself clearly and with respect, you're not only honoring your own needs, but also showing others that you trust them enough to be real. And finally, authentic communication is about staying true to your word. Your words should match your actions. If you say you'll do something, follow through. If you make a promise, keep it. Consistency in your communication builds credibility, and deepens trust over time. Imagine the relationships in your life where authentic communication could change everything. How would it feel to express what you really need to your partner, to your friend, or to your colleague? How would it feel to be heard, truly heard, for who you are? This is the power of communication when it's done with integrity and love. Ask yourself, what's one way you can improve your communication with those closest to you? Maybe it's being more direct about your feelings. Maybe it's learning to listen without judgment. Or maybe it's simply finding the courage to speak your truth more often. When you communicate authentically, you're not just exchanging words. You're exchanging trust, respect, and understanding. And that kind of connection is what makes relationships thrive. So embrace the art of honest communication. It will transform not only your relationships, but your life. Rule 9. Know when to walk away. There comes a time in every man's life when the most courageous thing he can do is to walk away. Not out of weakness, but out of a deep understanding of his worth, his values, and his purpose. Stoicism teaches us that true wisdom lies in knowing what to hold on to, and, perhaps more importantly, what to let go of. Think about how often we cling to things that drain our energy, steal our peace, or contradict our values. It could be a job that no longer challenges or inspires you, a relationship that no longer supports your growth, or a toxic environment that constantly chips away at your well-being. Smart men, grounded in the timeless principles of Stoicism, know when it's time to detach, to release what no longer serves them, so they can make room for something greater. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Detachment is one of the most powerful lessons in life, but it's also one of the hardest. We often fear letting go because we worry about what comes next. The unknown is daunting, and we tell ourselves stories about how things might get better if we just hold on a little longer. But the truth is, the moment you let go of something that weighs you down, you create space for something better. Walking away doesn't mean giving up. It means having the wisdom to recognize that you deserve more than to stay trapped in situations that keep you from living your truth. It's about respecting yourself enough to choose growth over comfort, authenticity over pretense, and peace over chaos. Sometimes, walking away is the ultimate act of self-love. It's a statement to yourself and to the world that your time, your energy, and your values are worth protecting. It's about reclaiming your power and refusing to settle for anything less than what aligns with your core. But how do you know when it's time to walk away? It begins with paying attention to your feelings. Do you feel drained, unfulfilled, or disconnected from who you are? Have you outgrown the situation or the relationship? Are you compromising your values just to keep the peace or avoid discomfort? These are signs that it may be time to detach. Next, have the courage to listen to that inner voice, the one that tells you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. It's easy to ignore that voice or convince yourself that things will change, but deep down, you know when something isn't right. Smart men trust that voice. They trust that walking away will open doors they couldn't even see while they were holding on. And when you make the decision to walk away, do it with grace. Let go without anger, without bitterness, and without regret. Walking away is not about escaping. It's about evolving. It's about stepping into a life that honors your highest self. Imagine the freedom that comes with detachment, the weight lifting off your shoulders, the clarity that comes from reclaiming your time and energy. Picture what your life could look like if you stopped settling for less and started pursuing what truly matters. Have you ever stayed in a situation longer than you should have? Maybe you stayed out of fear, out of obligation, or because the thought of starting over seemed overwhelming. But what happened when you finally walked away? When you finally let go? Didn't you feel a sense of liberation, a lightness that allowed you to breathe again? Letting go isn't the end, it's the beginning of something new. So ask yourself, what is holding you back? What are you still clinging to that no longer serves your highest purpose? And most importantly, what are you ready to walk away from so you can step into the life you truly deserve? Remember, walking away is not about losing. It's about choosing yourself, your peace, and your future over the things that no longer fit into the life you're building. When you embrace the power of detachment, you find that you are not defined by the things you walk away from, but by the strength it took to let them go. Rule 10. Celebrate your achievements. In a world that constantly pushes us to achieve more, do more, and be more, it's easy to overlook one essential part of the journey: celebrating the victories along the way. Seneca, one of Stoicism's great minds, reminds us that all achievements, no matter their size, deserve recognition. He teaches that the true measure of success is not only in reaching the destination, but also in appreciating every step we've taken to get there. How often do we rush from one goal to the next, hardly pausing to acknowledge the progress we've made? We tell ourselves that celebrating is indulgent, that we haven't done enough, that there's always more to achieve. But in doing so, we rob ourselves of the joy that comes from reflecting on how far we've come. You see, every achievement, whether it's personal growth, a completed project, or simply overcoming a challenge, holds value. And when you take the time to celebrate those wins, you're affirming your worth, your effort, and your resilience. Smart men know that self-gratitude isn't arrogance. It's about honoring the path they've walked and recognizing the strength it took to get there. So, let's pause for a moment. Think back to something you've accomplished recently. Maybe it was something that took you months of hard work, or perhaps it was a small victory, a day where you just made it through despite the challenges. Have you taken the time to acknowledge it? Have you given yourself the credit you deserve? Too often we downplay our achievements, thinking they're not big enough to celebrate. But Seneca teaches us that it's not the size of the achievement that matters. It's the fact that you pushed through, that you persevered, and that you made progress. Every step forward is worthy of recognition. To cultivate self-gratitude, start by keeping a record of your wins. Take time to journal about your achievements, both big and small. Write about the challenges you overcame, the lessons you learned, and the growth you experienced. This simple act of reflection can transform the way you see yourself. It builds confidence, renews your motivation, and fills you with a deep sense of pride for the journey you're on. And don't stop there. Celebrate your milestones, whether it's by treating yourself to something special, sharing your success with loved ones, or simply taking a quiet moment to acknowledge your effort. Celebrating your achievements doesn't just honor the past, it fuels your future. It reminds you that you are capable, that you have overcome obstacles before, and that you will continue to do so. So, let me ask you, what's one achievement you're proud of that you haven't celebrated yet? Maybe it's a goal you reached long ago, but never took the time to acknowledge. Or perhaps it's something you've recently accomplished, but you've already moved on to the next task without pausing to reflect. Take this moment to think about it and recognize the hard work, dedication, and resilience that went into it. You deserve to celebrate, you deserve to feel proud, and you deserve to remind yourself that every achievement no matter how modest it may seem, is a reflection of your strength and growth. Embrace your accomplishments and let them be a source of inspiration for the road ahead. As we reach the end of this journey together, let's take a moment to recap the 10 rules that can guide smart men toward a fulfilling life. We've explored the importance of embracing solitude for self-discovery, protecting your past to foster growth, balancing priorities to align your values with your goals, prioritizing mental health, being true to yourself, nurturing meaningful relationships, mastering time management, communicating authentically, knowing when to walk away from unhealthy situations, and celebrating your achievements. Now, I encourage you to take action. Choose one or two of these rules that resonate with you and apply them in your life today. Reflect on how these principles can transform your mindset and actions. And don't forget to share your favorite rule in the comments below. Your insights may inspire someone else on their journey. If you found value in this video, please like and subscribe for more content that helps you grow and thrive. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a powerful Stoic reminder from Marcus Aurelius. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By incorporating these rules into your life, you'll cultivate a mindset that not only seeks fulfillment, but also embraces purpose. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll dive even deeper into Stoicism and explore more ways to master your life and your mind. With that said, thank you for watching, and until next time,